Let's talk about some things you need to know before you go. I actually have a video about 8 boss level beginner tips to take you from Bambi to pro. And if you want to know everything I have to say about it, you can check out the video. But for today, I'm going to give you 2 things. You need to choose where you're going to skate and how you are going to skate wisely. The first time that you go out to skate, you need to find a place to sit down that's kind of like a bench to put your skates on that you can push off of in order to stand up. Because if you take a super duper low seat on the ground, you're gonna have trouble standing up if you're not balanced on your wheels. First thing I like to do is tie my skates. I actually have a video on how to tie your skates for performance because tying your skates was one of the first lessons that Bill Butler used to teach skaters. And I know from experience that when you get a new pair of skates, if you don't have them tied properly, you could create additional falls for yourself because your foot shakes on the inside and it trips you up. The second thing is, before you lose your self-defense, I want you to check the entire area. I have a whole video on how I like to check skate areas before I skate. And that brings me to falling. I have an entire tutorial about falling that you can check out. Today I'm gonna teach you the FAQ fall, but to be honest, falling is more than a 25-second tutorial. And depending on the type of skating you're going to do, you're going to need to find a lot of different ways to get in and out of moves. I don't want skaters to put themselves in a mindset where they're like, bro, if I'm taking 10 falls a session, that's like cool, that's normal. If you're taking that many falls a session, it's a good chance that you're going to get injured. And I want a flag to come up in your head like, wait, every single time you fall, I want you to stop and be like, bro, what happened? What happened? What could I change? And was that fall because I got impatient, or was that fall because of a skill gap and a skill barrier? And is there a way that I could close this more safely? Let's take a couple look at some real life scenarios. The first one is gonna be you're skating forward and you trip. And the second one is gonna be you're trying to turn. Let's get it in. Now it's time to start skating for the first time. In addition to finding a flat area, you should also find an area with some grass or maybe some carpet to start learning skating on. It's the same thing that companies do with children's skates. Children's skates don't roll like our skates, so you can learn how to stand without all of the risk. And this is another thing that's going to help you minimize your falls. In order to learn how to skate, you have to learn a lot of different skills. And depending on how well you stand up, it's going to change what I want you to do next. There are going to be 2 paths to learn how to skate. If you can stand up and you're not too wibbly wobbly, I want you to take path 1. But if you have trouble standing up, I want you to take path 2. You can do any of the steps that I tell you in the grass for these paths, but I wanted to explain these skills specifically. If you take path 1, I still want you to learn the skills in path 2. I'm just saying you might be able to start from path 1. Well, path 1 is you stand up and you can stand up, put your feet under you, get your shoulders square, and you're not too wibbly wobbly. In order to start skating, we're gonna learn something called the T-start. In order to do the T-start, you're gonna start by putting your feet shoulder width apart. Now, you're gonna choose which leg that you're gonna balance on and push onto. I personally practice this on both sides. When you push onto your leg, you're gonna want to feel the weight in the tip of your knee, like on the point, and straight down in between your big and your second toe. When you push off, you're gonna balance onto this skate. So it's important to choose which side you feel most comfortable on for the start. I push off of the back foot and I balance the weight onto my lead foot. In order to skate, we do this process by coming back, our feet together again, turning our foot out to a slight angle in order to push off the ground. We're gonna do another small T start. It's not as pronounced because we're not coming from an exact stop, and then we're gonna push, and then we're gonna balance onto the other side. This is the basis of skating. Push off one skate, balance on the other. Push off the other skate, balance on the other skate. And that's what we're going to learn today. If you're on the second plan, I want you to start from the roller skating scissors. The first thing that you're gonna do is do a bubble or a roller skating scissor to the front and a bubble or a roller skating scissor to the back. I want you to just practice that for maybe 5 or 10 minutes before you try to do method number 1 in the grass, and then take method number 1 to the concrete. When you're doing the bubbles, I want you to keep your feet shoulder width apart as you come forward and backwards. You're going to notice if you keep skating that this is a roller skating scissors, and this is something that we use all the time in order to move in a lot of different directions. And if you get good at doing roller skating scissors, you're going to get good at doing a lot of things. So if you're having trouble standing up, practicing these is going to help you build the muscles on the inside of your legs and help you balance better. And it's going to give you something a little bit easier than going straight from T-start to T-stop. The next step is to learn your first stop. Today, we're going to learn how to do the plow stop. The plow stop is the first stop that many roller skaters suggest that you learn. Personally, I started off with the T-stop, but after looking at the roller skating scissors or the bubble as a foundational move, and also thinking about a lot of skaters who have trouble standing up straight and holding their self-balance using the muscles on the inside of their leg, I was like, okay, the plow stop can be good or essential for skaters like that in order to get a stop that they can use consistently in order to stop more consistently. Step 1 to plow stopping is roll. You're gonna gain some speed. After you get some speed, you're gonna get your feet about shoulder width apart, and I want you to press in to your heels and your toes of your skates. You're gonna push out into a bubble or a roller skating scissors slightly past shoulder width, and then bring those in until just before your feet touch. The reason why this creates a stop is the scissors and the pressing into the outside of your feet creates friction, and the motion of your feet slows you down. If you don't do this motion properly, you're gonna come in with too much force and your toes are gonna click, you're gonna fall. Drill number 1 is just the roller skating scissor. Roller skating scissor back, roller skating scissor forward. Stopping with your toes in the front for a roller skating scissors is extremely similar to a plow stop. It's just that when you do the plow stop, you're gonna have more speed, so you're gonna need to bend your knees a little bit more. The second thing that I like to do is skate from a line and stop at a cone. This helps me practice my stops and get consistent. I like to do this because you're only as good as well as you can use the stop. It's not good to learn to stop on the internet, say, yo bro, I learned how to stop, and then you get outside, you can't use it. It don't matter what you learned on the internet if you can't take it to the street. And in the street, you're gonna need to stop specifically. And that's why I like to skate from a line and skate to the cone. So anyway, boss fam, that's all I got for today. If I missed anything, let me know down in the comments. There's gonna be one thing that everybody's gonna say that I missed, telling everybody to wear pads. As you can see, I have a helmet. I have pads. When I'm going for a maneuver that I'm likely to fall doing, or I'm skating in a way that's likely to cause injuries, I wear a helmet and pads. But if you're learning the basics of roller skating and you feel like you will get injured without wearing the pads, it's a sign that you don't have all the skills because you're falling too hard. Anyway, boss fam, that's all I got for you today. Honestly, I got a lot to say about roller skating, but I ain't gonna have time to tell everybody today. Make sure you check in those links because these tutorials are already up. Cheers, boss fam.